Hey, how are you? This is Edwin and this is Dango's Diary. Have you been to an interview session and a question like tell me more about yourself was asked? Did you struggle providing answers to this question? How long did it take you to answer these questions? Where most job seekers made the mistakes of not knowing exactly what to say during an interview when the question, tell me more about yourself, is asked. There are three techniques that you can actually use to quickly, briefly, and concisely discuss about yourself to your potential employer. To know this, I urge you to keep on watching the video. Hit the subscribe button, man. Hmm. Going through your resume, going through your script before the interview. Come on, forget about the papers. Your potential employer is not interested in what you've got on that resume. What he's interested in are your skills. Tell me more about yourself. Before you attempt an answer for this question during an interview, you must have first of all done a background research on the company. Yeah, it's very unlikely that you will go to a company to seek for employment without knowing anything about this company. As a practice, a standard practice actually, it's always advisable for you to do background research on any potential job that you are about to apply to. Research about the company, research about the job requirement, know exactly what is expected, because during the interview, the question, tell me more about yourself, has a lot to do with the expectation of the job. When you have this question, the first thing you want to think of is for you to briefly summarize your professional experience. Talk about the job you've had thus far before this employment that you're seeking. Talk about the companies you've worked in, the positions you've held. And when you're giving out this information, you are not just there to talk about all the things you've done in your previous employment places. No. Make sure you select specific informations that are relevant to the job in question that you are interviewing for. That's why I said you have to do a background research about this company, know the job expectation, know exactly what they are expecting. Like if you are interviewing for the position of an IT expert, it will be good for you to talk about a job that you held in which you play the role of an IT expert. You wouldn't be talking about a job that you held as a manager. No, it doesn't work because the current position which you are applying for is seeking for an IT expert. So when you're talking about your previous experience, make sure you mention those jobs or jobs that are related to the present position which you are applying for. The second technique that you can actually use to provide answer to the question, tell me more about yourself, is for you to be able to quickly talk about your skills, summarize your capabilities. Like I said, make sure whatever information you give is related to the job expectation that you are interviewing for. When you talk about your skills, let's go back to the previous example which I gave. You are interviewing for the position of an IT expert. You talk about the jobs which you've held in which you perform the role of an IT expert. So the second point, when talking about your experience, you have to be able to convince your potential employer by explaining to him or her that during that time that you were working as an IT expert, you were able to solve these problems. Because of these skills that you had, you managed to solve this or that problem that the company had. It helps you a lot. And the very last aspect that you have to think of, after you must have talked about your previous jobs, your capabilities, experience, and all the achievement that you must have had along your career path, you should be able to quickly describe your current situation before looking for this job. Tell your employer why you need this job. What propels you? What is your encouragement? What is your ultimate objective? Why did you quit your previous job? You have to explain this because in the mind of the employer, he or she is wondering why you here. You should be able to answer those questions by just talking about it directly. If you are still keeping your present job, then you have to explain to your potential employer why you think you can leave the present job to work with him. I'll give an example. Perhaps in your previous job, the job is not meeting up with your expectation. It could be financial. It could be career development. You are not seeing any improvement, and you think the new position that you are interviewing for will provide you that opportunity for you to progress in the job that you are about to apply for. Some of us, when we work, or some people, they aspire to climb up the professional ladder. They aspire to become manager, CEO. So maybe that's your expectation, your ultimate goal. You know that going for this new job, it helps you, gives you the opportunity for you to progress. Or if it's financial, you know that this new job offers good payment at the end of the month. That is it. When you go out for an interview and the question, tell me more about yourself, is being asked, think of these 3 points that I've mentioned. 1, quickly summarize your work history. Be concise about it. Keep it short and simple. Explain the positions you've held, the responsibilities that you had, and how long you've worked. Secondly, talk about your capabilities, the things that you can do. By so doing, you are convincing your employer that you'll be able to handle the job that you are interviewing for. And like I mentioned, when you're talking about all these things, be careful about the information you give. You should give out information that are suited for this job. That is why it's always good for you to do background research of the company, because you want to meet up with the employment objective. If they are looking for an IT expert, like I earlier mentioned, you should be able to talk about those positions that you held as IT expert. Don't talk about other jobs that has nothing to do with this position. Otherwise, you might be reducing your chances of having this job. And finally, end the answer to the question, tell me more about yourself, by letting your potential employer understand your current status. Are you presently employed? If yes, why do you intend to leave this job? Give him the reason. Is it for financial benefit? You need a more paid package, or you're looking for professional growth? You should be able to talk to him. When he understands this, then he can be able to gauge and see if you're best suited for these jobs. I hope that helped, and I wish you the best in your job hunt. Stay tuned. See you next time. Bye-bye.